friends and fellow devotees of the Lord. Namaskars to every one of you. We are met together now at a question-answer session. As I have repeatedly said on such occasions, questions can be asked by anyone. Likewise, answers too can be given by anyone. For surely there will be some questions to which I may not be able to give adequate answers. And if at any time you find that you have a better answer to a question than the one that I have given, kindly don't hesitate in asking for the mic. Nothing will make me happier than to leave this hall having been enlightened by your wisdom, by your knowledge, by your experience. Questions asked in English will receive answers in English. सवाल जेके तव्हां सिंधीअ में पुछंदा तव्हांखे सिंधीअ में जवाब मिलंदो. अंग्रेज़ीअ में पुछंदा अंग्रेज़ीअ में मिलंदो. ॿी ॿोली का मां ॼाणा कीन, ही ॿ पूरी तरह कीन ॼाणा, पर ॿी ॿोली मां ॼाणा कीन. इन करे जे आज्ञा हुजे त क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन शुरू करियूं.
Pranam.
Pranams to you.
Dear Dada, when the Guru does not give nihar to the disciple and he ignores him, does it mean that the disciple has done something wrong? If yes, then how does the disciple know where he went wrong? And what should the disciple do to please the Guru?
And not necessarily. Even if the disciple may not have done any wrong, there are periods when the Guru refuses to look at him, refuses to give him his nihar, because even as for the ripening of a fruit, you need both sunshine and shade. Even so, for the ripening of the soul, for the annihilation of the ego, you need both the forms of love which the Guru has. The Guru has two forms of love. There is the Vishnu form of love, with which we are familiar and which we always wish to have. But there is also the Shiva form of love. The Guru comes with a trisul in his hands, with the trident of the Shiva in his hands, and beats the ego of the disciple. Because this is the primary object of the Guru, to annihilate the ego of the disciple. The ego is the barrier between man and God. Once the ego goes, man becomes one with God. The disciple becomes the Guru. But it is also right that when the disciple goes off the stage or does something which is wrong, the Guru will not give him his nihar. Then it is for the disciple to, in all humility, go and stand before the Guru and with folded hands ask where he has gone wrong.
Beloved Dada, I want to meditate, but I cannot sit because of the distractions and my thoughts.
That happens to everyone. When you begin to meditate, that is the experience that you get. It is inevitable. But you have to pass through this stage. You have to go deeper. You must have seen on a stormy day how the waves of the sea lash. But if you go, say, a foot deeper into the sea, you will find that there is calm. So you have to go within. So long as you are moving on the surface of consciousness, there are these distractions. But if you go, once you go deeper, you will find that it is all calm and peace. But this happens through practice, through what is called abhyasa. Abhyasa is regular practice. Practice at the same time and preferably at the same place. Yes.
My dear Dada, today in camp, I want to surrender my ego, my anger, and all the bad habits. Can you please accept it and make me free?
Surrendering the ego and bad habits is not merely done in words. You have to surrender in action, which is a little more difficult than speaking about it. It's easy for me to say, I surrender my ego, I surrender my bad habit. It doesn't cost me anything. But surrendering the ego and surrendering bad habits in action, that is what is needed. Yes. A man came to me, he said to me, I want to surrender my anger. And the next moment I found that he was angry with the servant. That is not surrendering anger. When you surrender anger, you have to be aware of every action, every word that you utter. On your part, you must be aware. On the part of the Guru, he has to pour his grace into you. But you don't receive that grace until you have in action surrendered. Yes.
Beloved Dada, one thing is bothering me from a long time. When I trust someone, thinking that he is my brother and well-wisher, and he cheats me, taking advantage of my trust, what should I do in such a situation?
It is an open universe in which we live. Nobody can cheat another. What appears to be cheating is related to karma. Maybe I have cheated that person in a birth near or remote. Now the reaction is taking place. In an open universe there can be no cheating. So if you are cheated, you should say to yourself, perhaps I have cheated him in an earlier birth and now the accounts are settled. You should feel happy. A thief comes and steals something, takes away something from your house. In spite of your best efforts, you are not able to discover who the thief is. You should rejoice. Perhaps I had stolen in an earlier birth what he has stolen now in this birth away from me. Yes. Every action must produce a reaction, not necessarily in this very birth, but it must produce a reaction. Otherwise it will not be balanced out. Yes.
Respected Dada, I need to ask, why do people get married?
But they need not get married, but they must not have any extramarital relations. That is not right. But you need not marry.
Thank you.
But you must be very careful to see that you have no extramarital relationship. There are people who now they call it live-in or something, I don't know what it is. I've just heard some whispers. They say he's living in or whatever. That is wrong. That is not right.
Dear Dada, the members of our family who are not moving on the spiritual path, which is the best way to inspire them to come on the path?
The best way is, as we saw yesterday in the film, if you reform yourself, through your influence you can reform those that are around you. So your influence is enough. You must not tell them to be spiritual. If you tell them to be spiritual, they will refuse to be spiritual. But through your influence, gentle influences, they will work better. Yes. And also through prayer, you must pray for them. Lord, have mercy on my relatives or on my brothers, on my kith and kin.
Thank you, Lord.
Respected Dada, our mother is our first guru. Is serving her equivalent to serving Gurudev Sadhu Vaswani?
It all depends. If there is no one else to serve your mother, and if your guru does not need your services to that extent, it may be better to serve the mother, yes. We have duties to perform. We have a duty by our mother, we have a duty by the guru. Now you have to find out which is the greater duty. You must attend to that.
Beloved Dada, my life has become very boring and mundane. What should I do to bring enthusiasm into my life?
What shall I do to bring?
Enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm. Come to Sadhu Vaswani mission. You will be full of the spirit of enthusiasm. Yes.
Dear Dada, I have lost confidence. What should I do to be able to regain my confidence?
Your confidence will come to you in the measure in which you realize what you are in essence. Therefore, if you sit in silence every day, say at least for 15 minutes to half an hour, and try to explore what you are in essence, you will be filled with confidence. You are that which is the very source of confidence. But there is a barrier between you and what you are in essence. That barrier is to break. And this happens through, firstly, silence, practice of silence. Secondly, through selfless service. If you go out and serve some without expecting anything in return, that will also help. and thirdly, through prayer. Yes.
Dear Dada, what do we do in situations when some of our friends tend to disrespect, demean, or talk ill about our Guru? Should we choose to ignore it, or should we cut off contact with them?
It depends. In certain cases, it is good to cut off contact with them. In certain cases, it is good to influence them to have the right attitude towards the Guru. It all depends upon the situation. Yes.
Thank you, Dada.
Beloved Dada, I have been jealous about someone. I never used to feel so until some days ago. Dada, am I sowing new karma? How do I prevent myself from doing so?
Whether you are sowing new karma or whether you are balancing out old karma, it is not good to be jealous. Because when you become jealous, you are harming yourself. You are not harming the person about whom you feel jealous. You are only harming yourself. Why should you harm yourself at all? If once you realize this, you will not be jealous about anyone. When I become jealous about anyone, I am harming myself. I am circulating poison in my own system. Why should I do it? These negative emotions, we should always keep away from them. If I entertain any negative emotion, I am harming myself. If I have resentment, if I have ill will, if I become jealous, if I become envious, I am harming myself. If I become angry, I am harming myself. We are told, I think in the Mahabharata, there was a story in which there was a man who ill-treated a dog. And the dog went and complained. In those days, perhaps the animals could speak, or the language of animals could be discerned by some people. But it is said that the dog went and complained to the king. And the king asked the dog, what punishment should I give to that man? And the dog said, you make him the head abbot of a monastery. And the king was surprised. He said, you are rewarding him, you are not punishing him. No, said the dog. If he becomes the head abbot of the monastery, he will do many wrong things. And he will have to pay for them. Yes. So it all depends.
Dear Dada, when we live physically far from our Gurudev, how do we do Guru Seva?
Guru Seva we can do by beholding the image of the Guru in the person whose Seva I am doing. Now supposing I want to do Guru Seva, I am far, far away from the Guru in matter of distance. But I see the Guru in somebody and I go and do that person's Seva. It is Guru Seva. We are not able to reach Krishna. But if I see Krishna in you and I do your Seva, it reaches Krishna. Because we are all united. On the spiritual plane, we are all one. On the physical plane, there is separation. On the physical plane, we need to build unity. We are all separate. But on the spiritual plane, unity is already a fact. On the spiritual plane, we all are united. So if I see my Guru in somebody and render service to that person, the service reaches the Guru.
Dada Sham Dada.
Dada Sham Dada.
Mitra Gurudev.
Dadi.
बालकीता ने प्यारा मिठड़ा गुरुदेव जॾहिं जॾहिं मुक्ति जी ॻाल्हि निकिरंदी आहे त मां हमेशह प्रभुअ खां घुरंदी आहियां मूंखे वरी हिन दुनिया में मोकिलिजो छो त हिन दुनिया में रही मूं सत्संग तमामु थोरो कमायो आहे छो त मां इंडिया खां ॿाहिरि रहंदी आहियां छा प्रभु खां ॿियो जनम घुरां इहो राइट आहे जीअं मां वधीक सत्संग हितां कमाए वञा
हरू न घुरो त बि तव्हांखे जॾहिं ताईं इहो शरीर छॾे हलंदा त उते सत्संग ई सत्संग आहिनि इन करे जेतिरो सत्संग तव्हां हिते कमाए सघो था तंहिंखां घणो वधीक सत्संग तव्हांखे उते मिलंदो इन करे प्रभु ते छॾियो तव्हां घुरो न प्रभु जेकी तूं मुंहिंजे लाइ ठीकु सम्झी मूंखे उहो ॾिजांइ जेकॾहिं प्रभु ठीकु सम्झंदो त तव्हांखे घणा सत्संग ॾियां त उते ई रखंदो पर जे सम्झंदो थोरा सत्संग ॾियां त पोइ हिंदुस्तान में मोकिलींदो जे चवंदो त असुल तमामु क़मती सत्संग हुजनि त विलायत में मोकिलियो प्रभु हुते छॾियो जी जी विलायत में वधीक सत्संग पर उते डिस्टेंसिस ॾाढा वॾा आहिनि उते पहुचणु ॾाढो ॾुखियो थी थो पवे
हिकु ॿी भेण पुछे
हिते पाड़े पाड़े में सत्संग आहिनि जी हा
हिकु ॿी भेण पुछे थी प्यारा दादा जॾहिं असांजा प्यारा ही लोक छॾे परलोक पधारजनि था तॾहिं असांखे कीअं ख़बर पवे त रोशनी में विया या ऊंदहि में विया
हींअर मुमकिन आहे त तव्हीं पंहिंजनि प्यारनि सां कम्यूनिकेट करे सघो था जेके प्यारा परलोक वञनि था उन्हनि सां तव्हीं कम्यूनिकेट करे सघो था केतिरा आहिनि जेके इन कम में माहिर आहिनि उन्हनि खे कोठींदा आहिनि मीडियम्स जेकॾहिं को मीडियम तव्हांखे मिले तव्हीं उन मीडियम जे मार्फत परूर पाए सघो था त तव्हांजा प्यारा जे परलोक में विया आहिनि उहे हींअर कहिड़े स्टेज ते आहिनि All you need to do is to contact a medium. He will put you in touch with the dear departed one.
Dear Dada, why is it easier to love a person unconditionally, but difficult to love the Guru unconditionally?
Why? Because you have not seen the difficulties of loving a person unconditionally. Once you love a person unconditionally, he will, I don't know what he will do to you. Yes. You have had no experience, it seems. The Guru at least is full of the spirit of compassion. A person is not filled with the spirit of compassion. If the Guru does anything, whatever he does with a purpose. An ordinary person just does it. It was only yesterday that I heard of a girl. She used to go out with a boy, and the boy probably told her, I love you, I want to marry you, whatever it is, and suddenly the boy left her. Now, if she loved the boy unconditionally, I do not know what would have happened to the girl. And these cases are happening every day, every day. The Guru does not do that. If the Guru does anything, he does it with a purpose. Because the Guru is aware of all his actions. Not merely actions, but his words, his thoughts, his emotions, his feelings. He's always aware. Ordinary person is not aware, he just does it.
Dear Dada, what is the easy and simple way to be always near you?
How near? If it is 500 feet, I can have a room for you. 500 feet away from my room. How near do you want?
In all aspects.
Proximity, true proximity is not in distance. True proximity is a feeling of the heart. If I seat you in my heart, you and I become very close to each other. It is all a matter of the heart. My Guru is, I do not know in matter of distance how far from me, but I have held him in my heart. He is very close to me, very, very close to me. So it all depends.
प्यारा दादा,
One day, Gurudev Sadhu Vaswanis said to us that if you are thinking of proximity in matter of distance, the nearest to me is my cot, the cot on which I sleep. But that is not the proximity that we need.
प्यारा दादा, तव्हां हमेशा चवंदा आहियो त अंदरि वञो, पर दादा तव्हां महिरबानी करे अंदरि वञण जो रस्तो बि ॿुधायो ऐं सवली तरीक़े सां ॿुधायो त अंदरि कीअं वञूं जो दिलि कमल में गुरूअ जो दीदार थिए।
अंदरि वञण जा घणेई रस्ता आहिनि, पर हिकु सवलो रस्तो जो संतनि सतपुरखनि असांखे अची बतायो आहे, सो आहे को न को नाम खणो, जेॾो नंढो नाम ओॾो बहितर। वञो साॻियो नाम वरी वरी उचारींदा, सम्झो राम, सम्झो ओम, सम्झो श्याम। जेको नाम तव्हांखे भाए उहो ताईं नाम खणी कंहिं शांति जी कुंड में वञी वियो ऐं अखियूं खोले सघो था, अखियूं पूरे सघो था, पर बहितर आहे जेकॾहिं तव्हीं चोथों अखियूं खोलियो, घणियूं अखियूं न खोलियो, चोथों अखियूं खोले वञो उचारींदा, कंहिं पॉइंट ते कॉन्सेंट्रेट करे। ॿ पॉइंट्स अथव, हिकिड़ी आहे त्रिकुटी हिते, ॿी आहे हृदय चक्र हिते, या हिते वीचार करियो, तव्हीं वेठा आहियो, कॉन्सेंट्रेट करियो हिते, हिते माना जेका फिज़िकल हार्ट आहे तंहिंजे लाइन में, पर विच ते वञो, उते वेही राम राम थी सघेव। जेकॾहिं रेज़ोनेंस ते तव्हीं राम पोइ सांत में यूं पई हलंदी जेके उन ते कॉन्सन्ट्रेट कंदा जल्दी तव्हीं पंहिंजे अंदरि वञी सघंदा न त रुगो राम 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 merely uttering the name will take you within तव्हांखे अंदरि वठी हलंदो पर इहो करिणो आहे रुगो ॿुधणो की न आहे रुगो पढ़णो की न आहे इहो अभ्यास करिणो आहे जेतिरो जेतिरो अभ्यास कंदासीं ओतिरो ओतिरो वधीक पंहिंजे अंदरि वेंदासीं अंदरि पहिरीं असांखे ज्योतियूं ॾिसण में ईंदियूं जुदा जुदा रंगनि जूं ज्योतियूं असीं ॾिसंदासीं पोइ we touch the plane of the pure white light पर it is a process अभ्यास जे द्वारा ईअं थिए थो असां मां केतिरा वेहूं था पहिरीं सांत में अभ्यास करियूं था पर मन पियो भिटके पहिरियां 6 महीना त कुझु एक्सपेक्ट ई न करियो 6 महीना वञो इहो कंदा वञो कंदा वञो कंदा 6 महीने खां पोइ तव्हांखे थोरो कुझु रिस्पॉन्स मिलंदो पर असां मां केतिरा 6 ॾींहं करियूं था पोइ छॾे था ॾियूं 6 ॾींहं छॾे छॾियो न लॻा बि रह नसरुद्दीन बाबति असांखे ॿुधायल आहे त कनु लॻाए भित ते वेठो हूंदो हो मुला नसरुद्दीन कनु लॻाए वेठो हूंदो हो सुबुह खां वठी शाम ताईं नसरुद्दीन जी ज़ाल पुछियुसि त हेॾा उहो मर्दनि जो नालो कोन ॻणंदियूं आहिनि हेॾा तूं छा वेठो करी सॼो वक़्तु रुगो कनु लॻाए वेठो आहीं छा थो ॿुधी तॾहिं चयईंसि त तूं लॻाए ॾिस ॿिए ॾींहुं नसरुद्दीन जी स्त्री उथी सवेल ई नेरनि बि ठाहियईं मंझंदि बि ठाहे रखियईं चई मां सॼो कमु करे थी छॾियां मां बि कनु वञी थी भित खे लॻाए ॿुधण जी कोशिशि कयां कनु लॻाए वेठी 8 कलाक नेठि शाम अची थी तॾहिं पंहिंजे घोट खे चयईं त 8 कलाक मूं कनु लॻायो आहे भिते मां त कुझु ॿुधाई नथी तॾहिं नसरुद्दीन चयसि त तो 8 कलाक लॻाया आहिनि तूं थकिजी पई आहीं पर मां रोज़ु 8 कलाक लॻाईंदो आहियां 16 सालनि खां वठी 16 साल मूं इहो कमु कयो आहे अञा कुझु ॿुधो कोन अथमि पर छॾियां नथो दैट इज़ द रूल हिन जेकॾहिं हिन राह में तव्हीं हलणु चाहियो छॾियो सुल असीं थोरे में छॾे था ॾियूं इन करे असांखे का रिज़ल्ट नथी मिले
Dear Dada, I am engaged and I am a vegetarian, but my in-laws are non-vegetarian. So, if they expect me to cook non-vegetarian food for them, what should be the right thing for me to do in this situation? Please guide me.
I think if it is duty to cook non-vegetarian food for your in-laws, if it is your duty to do it, you do it. But you keep on praying in the heart within to be relieved of this duty. Yes. But if it is your duty, you have to do it, and the blame is not yours. The blame will belong to the in-laws. Yes. But you keep on praying to the Lord that you may be relieved of this duty. Yes.
If a wrong deed is done by your elders, is it true that the family members also suffer the karmic deed somehow?
It all depends upon the type of karma that they do. There is a karma, collective karma, then the children are also involved. But if it is not collective karma, now for instance, there was that dacoit, Ratnakar. Maharishi Narada told him to go and find out from his dependents, his wife, his children, his mother, whether they will stand by him in the day of reckoning. So he came and he asked his mother, he asked his wife, he asked his children. Every one of them told him, we are not involved. It is your duty to provide livelihood. That is your duty. How you do it, it is your business. You will have to pay for it. So it all depends upon the type of karma.
And Dadaji, can our Guru lessen the karma of the disciple? Can the Guru lessen the karma of the disciple?
The Guru can, but he will not. Because the Guru believes that the law of karma is not punitive, the law of karma is reformative. The law of karma wishes to reform the individual. It does not wish to punish. We believe that the law of karma is punitive. We think we are paying for something that we have done. No. The law of karma is one aspect of God. And God is all love. And love never punishes. But love would wish that the one whom it loves evolves, progresses, goes higher and higher. Therefore, karma puts us in an environment where we may have opportunities of progressing, of evolving.
Okay. In some circumstances, if the Guru takes the pain, suffering by the disciple,
There are some cases when
they take the pain.
When
Will
the Guru does it.
suffer the pain as well?
When the Guru does it out of a sense of compassion, the Guru does it, yes.
And he will
Somebody has to pay for it. I was in Bangalore. I had gone out for a walk. When I returned, I found a man carrying 2 cages in which there were many small birds, tiny birds. So I asked that man who was carrying those 2 cages, what are you going to do with these birds? He says, I'm going to sell them. I was not sure how they will be treated after they are sold. So I just looked at them as though I wanted them to be free. My host could see, could feel that I wanted those birds to be. Immediately he came forward and he asked the man, how much do you want for these birds? And he said 600 rupees. So he said 600 I am going to give you, you give me the cages. I will release them. Now to release the bird, somebody had to pay. To release us from karma, somebody has to pay. The Guru does it. Yes. But the pain which the Guru feels, the intensity is not the same. The disciple feels it to a much greater extent. The Guru can transcend the body. This is the advantage, yes, yes.
Thank you, Dada.
When the Guru suffers pain of the body, he continues to smile. It doesn't affect his entire being. But if we suffer the pain, it affects our entire being. Yes.
प्यारा दादा हिकु भेण लिखे थी प्यारा दादा अॼु मुंहिंजो जनम ॾींहुं आहे ऐं तव्हां मूंखे आसीस ॾींदा मां तव्हांजे चरणनि में अॻियां अचणु चाहियां थी मूंखे अचणु ॾींदा आसीस वठी वञा मुंहिंजो पति बि ठीकु न आहे उन लाइ बि आसीस घुरां थी अॼोके ॾींहुं उनखे बि आसीस कंदा
मथां तव्हांखे अचणु न ॾियनि असीं जिते तव्हीं आहियो तव्हांखे आसीस वठी था ॾियूं संगत जी ॾियो भेण खे वाधायूं वाधाई हो वाधाई भेण Yes.
Dear Dada, in today's time, how do we manage to give time to spirituality, business, health, family, and charity? There is just not enough time to do justice to all these.
How many hours do you give to sleep? Supposing you give 6 or 7 hours to sleep, you can take out easily 15 minutes or half an hour and devote it to spiritual ends. Suppose I get up in the morning at 7 o'clock. I can so arrange that I get up at 6:30 and give that half an hour to spiritual abhyasa, practice. It all depends upon the intensity with which I wish for something to happen. Therefore, what we need is a strong will. And to make your will strong, you need to pray repeatedly. Because will is a gift which we get from God, and we need to pray for it. Once you have a strong will, you will be able to do everything.
Beloved Dada, I am full of queries, and yet in your presence I have no questions.
She's full of queries, but in your presence she has no questions.
I feel you are always with me, yet I miss you so much. How does one explain this dichotomy?
I will come to you wearing a mask. Then you will not know who has come to you, and you will put to me all the questions that you want to put. We have a number of questions to ask. But let me tell you, if only you can answer one question, there will be no more questions to be asked. Once you have answered this one question, all your other questions will be answered. You will not need to ask any other question. The question of questions is, what am I? What am I? If only you knew what you are in essence. You are not this body, you are not this mind, you are not this intellect. You are the Atman. But this answer you get only in words. When it becomes a realization, when you realize that you are a spirit, and that is just the purpose of the human birth. We all have been given this human birth so that we may realize that we are not these bodies. While we were in the animal kingdom, while we were animals, we could not come to this realization. But having been given this human body, we can realize that we are not the bodies that we wear. We are, each one of us is an immortal spirit. Once you realize this, there is no question to be asked. Then all questions are answered.
Beloved Dada, kindly advise how to overcome the problem when there is no mutual understanding between parents and children. How to obey when there is conflict and difference of opinion.
It is possible that when there is difference of opinion between children and parents, it is possible that parents perhaps have become unreasonable. But I often tell children, I tell them, you have been given the human birth through your parents. It is your parents who gave you this human birth. Otherwise, you could have been born as a dog. You could have been born as a pig. You could have been born as a mosquito. It is through your parents that you have been given this human gift, this human birth. It is a most precious gift. You should feel eternally grateful to your parents for it. Therefore, even if your parents are unreasonable, or if you think that they are unreasonable, try to come to some understanding with them. And your parents are persons of great experience. You have not yet had that experience. There was a man who said, when I was 20, I thought my parents were stupid. When I became 30, I thought that they were a little intelligent. When I became 40, I realized that my parents are intelligent. I was stupid when I was 20 years old. This generation gap that has arisen now, it is due to our ego. Yes. Children think they know more than their parents do. I heard a little child, she was only 3 or 4 years old. She went, she had probably past the kindergarten stage or something. She knew a little of English. The mother did not know how to speak in English. So she said, I know more than my mother does. This little child of 4. Therefore, I always appeal to children. I tell them you should feel eternally grateful that you have received this human birth through your parents. But it is for each one to decide for himself or herself what he or she thinks is right. Yes.
प्यारा दादा, कल वाली थीम में अवां चयो हद बेहद ॿई लतारे।
मां ॿुधी नथो सघां।
कृपा करे ॿुधाईंदा इहा हद ऐं बेहद छा आहे?
हद आहे जंहिं कम्यूनिटी, जंहिं सोसाइटीअ में मां रहां थो, जंहिं सोसाइटी जो मां मेंबर आहियां, जंहिं कम्यूनिटी जो मां मेंबर आहियां, उन्हनि जा के कानून आहिनि, उहा आहे हद। बेहद आहे बेहद मां कीअं तव्हांखे सम्झायां। बेहद आहे जॾहिं मां इन हद खे क्रॉस करे अचां थो, जॾहिं मां कम्यूनिटी खे नथो ॿुधां। केतिरियूं ॾिसो कम्यूनिटीज़ आहिनि अञा ताईं, साउथ में ख़ासि करे कम्यूनिटीज़ अथव जेके अञा ताईं अनटचेबिलिटी में बिलीव कंदियूं आहिनि। जेकॾहिं कंहिं अनटचेबल जो पाछो तव्हां ते पवे थो त तव्हांखे चवंदा वञी तव्हीं सनानु करियो। न त वी आर ऑल चिल्ड्रन ऑफ गॉड, असीं हिकु प्रभु जा ॿार आहियूं। कहिड़ी बि असांजी कास्ट, असीं प्रभु जा ॿार आहियूं। त बेहद आहे जॾहिं मां हद खां क्रॉस करे ऐं अॻियां अचां थो त उहा आहे बेहद। पर ही हद ऐं बेहद ॿिन्ही खां असांखे अॻिते वञिणो आहे जेकॾहिं if we have to enter the spiritual realm, we have to go beyond. शायद मां एक्सप्लेन न करे सघियो आहियां पूरी तरह. हद आहे जंहिं ग्रुप में मां रहां थो उन ग्रुप जा रूल्स उन्हनि खे क्रॉस करे मां वञा थो बेहद में, पर उन बेहद खां बि मूंखे क्रॉस करिणो आहे. इफ आई हैव टू एंटर द स्पिरिचुअल रेल्म, जेकॾहिं रूहानी ज़िंदगी में घिरणु चाहियां थो त मूंखे हद बेहद ॿिन्ही खां वञिणो आहे.
सवाल विधो तव्हां उन जो प्रश्न ॾिनो, पर हिकिड़ो त मूंखे ॿुधण में कोन आयो, पर उन जे कनेक्शन में थी मां पुछां. मूं पुछो त असांजा प्यारा जॾहिं परलोक वञनि था, असांखे का सिम्टम निशानी आहे जो ख़बर पए त ऊंधे में विया रोशनीअ में विया. उन जो जेको तव्हां जवाबु ॾिनो मूं बराबरि कोन ॿुधो सम्झो, पर मां पुछां थी उन जो जेको मृतक शरीर आहे न ओॾी महिल उन मां का असांखे निशानी मिली सघे थी?
न न न न न मृतक शरीर मां असांखे निशानी कोन मिली सघंदी, पर मीडियम्स आहिनि जेके असांखे उन प्यारे सां कॉन्टेक्ट में आणे सघनि था ऐं असीं उन प्यारे खां पुछी सघूं था.
चवंदा आहिनि उन्हनि सां कॉन्टेक्ट न कजे,
चवंदा आहिनि त भई उन्हनि खे मुंझाइजे न, पर
उतां राइट जवाबु अचे थो.
ऐं केतिरा भेरा न, केतिरा भेरा न, छो जो उन एस्ट्रल वर्ल्ड में इम्पर्सोनेशन ॾाढी आहे. यानी सभु सम्झो मां चवां मां महात्मा गांधीअ सां मिलणु चाहियां थो त केतिरा ई रूह आहिनि जेके ईंदा चवंदा असीं महात्मा गांधी आहियूं. इन करे केतिरा भेरा
शरीर मां का निशानी कान्हे,
शरीर मां निशानी
अखियुनि मां साह वियो, वात मां साह
न न न न न न न
माफ़ कजो, मां ॿुधाइण थी
न न तव्हांजी
कई थी मां थोरो पिच वधीक करो न.
तव्हांजी ॻाल्हि ठीकु आहे, बराबरि.
Dada, I just wanted to ask you, if we confess and we speak to you in front of your picture, because at times it's difficult to get through you, do you listen? And
I am nobody, but there are people who can listen. There are souls who are so evolved, they can listen. Therefore, even if you speak to the picture, your message will reach them. But I am nobody.
Dada, you're everything for us, Dada.
You are more evolved than I am. Yes.
Dada, you are Khuda for us.
You
are Khuda for all of us.
Dada, you just said that mathe घणई सत्संग थींदा, मथे असीं वेंदासीं, मरी वेंदासीं, त असांखे घणई सत्संग उते मिलंदा.
मथे वेंदा अलाए हेठि वेंदा मूंखे पक कोन अथव.
दादा जिते वेंदासीं सत्संग मिलंदा न.
पर जिते बि वेंदा तव्हांखे सत्संग मिलंदा.
Dada, you just said there's personification, this Mahatma Gandhi, many will come and say we are Mahatma Gandhi. That means there's ठगी there also, Dada.
चेती तेजी माना मथे बि ठगी आहे छा? वही ॿियो केरु अची चवंदो मां महात्मा गांधी आहियां?
न, मथे तव्हीं ठगबा कोन. न, उते एंजल्स आहिनि जेके तव्हांखे सची बात ॿुधाईंदा. केरु तव्हांखे ठगे वेंदो त उन्हनि एंजल्स ते कमु इहो रखियलु आहे त जेकॾहिं को ठगे थो उन्हनि खे त तव्हां उन्हनि खे वञी सची राह ॿुधायो. हा.
You have guardian angels there also, Dada.
You have guardian angels there also.
Yes.
Thank you, Dada.
Not merely guardian angels, but they are angels who will show you the right path. Yes.